Hi beautiful. I get asked all the time, how did I transition from fire red head to super blonde without my hair falling off? I also get asked if I have extensions on because the length seems doubtful to some when you're going platinum. And my answer is always the same. 1, I have a hella good colorist. 2, no, there are no extensions. This is my natural hair length. And 3, I take care of my hair the same way I take care of my skin, which makes me a hair psycho then. But since the things I do work, I thought I'd share them with you. Please keep watching and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and let's get the ball rolling. Tip number 1 is to use a humidifier at night, especially in the cold months, because your home heating keeps the air very dry, and that can dry out your hair. Putting moisture back into the air will help keep your hair moisturized and help prevent damage. This is so much more important than people tend to think. Number 2 is to eat protein. I was reading in an interview with a Dr. Mirmirani, probably butchered the name, anywho. Dr. Mirmirani is a member of the North-American Hair Research Society who said this: since a strand of hair is composed primarily of protein, it needs protein to grow. Makes total sense. So eat protein, things like chicken, turkey, fish, legumes, and nuts. It's important to keep in mind that with all these tips and everything in general, you should always consult with a doctor first to make sure that the options that you hear about are okay for you. On the inside out hair growth topic, omega-3 fatty acids are great for keeping hair moisturized, and you'll find them in egg yolks, salmon, sardines, or of course your vitamin supplements. Now, a combo that I was reading about in terms of supplements that improve the health of hair was in a Huffington Post article with a dermatologist from the Cleveland Clinic who said that a daily intake of iron, vitamin D, zinc, and B complex vitamins will help hair immensely. So go for vitamins, omega-3s, protein. Tip number 5 is to try to avoid tying your hair as much as possible, because that pulls and causes breakage. If you have to tie it, try tying it looser and never tie your hair when it's wet, because that is when it's most vulnerable and prone to damage. And when tying, don't use traditional elastics because they're famously causing damaging friction. Instead, use these squally spiral ones. I find mine at Ulta, Sephora, Forever 21, Target, you name it. They're pretty much everywhere. Tip number 6 is to wait at least 3 days in between washes. Every time you wash your hair, you're stripping it of its natural oils, and that can not only lead to major dryness, enhanced risk of damage, and frizz, but washing often leads to the scalp overproducing oils because you're stripping it of them, and that only makes hair oilier faster. Gradually increase the time in between washes by adding an extra day of not washing about every 2 to 3 months. Your hair will acclimate. Honestly, this is day 5 for me, and I have absolutely no dry shampoo in it. Tip number 7 is to add a water filter to your shower head to protect the hair from any metals that might be traveling through the water pipes. Protecting from those will not only help keep your hair healthy, but your color as well. Number 8 is to use a sulfate-free shampoo. Sulfate is one of the most damaging ingredients that strips your hair of its moisture. Now, massage your scalp every other night if you can to help stimulate the hair follicles and encourage blood flow to the scalp, which in turn will promote a healthy growth. Air dry more often. Hair dryers are tough on hair and they severely over dry it. Use a microfiber hair towel if you can, because regular towels can be harsh and can cause breakage. Microfiber towels are designed to soak up a lot of water while causing very little friction. Now, talking about wet hair, never brush wet hair. I mean, never ever brush wet hair. That's one of the most common causes of breakage. What I do is I use a blow dryer on the lowest setting for about 2 to 3 minutes just to make sure that the hair is not dripping wet. Then I let it air dry till it's about 80–85% dry. Then I gently brush, and at the end blow dry pretty much the rest of the way. And since in fact there is such a thing as brushing in a way that damages hair, here is what you absolutely should know. Don't brush from the roots to the tips, because that breaks the hair out of the follicle. Instead, brush from the tips toward the roots. Brushing too often is also not good. Twice a day, basically once in the morning when you wake up and then before going to bed, is perfect. Use the right kind of brush. Brushes with natural boar bristles are gentler and better at distributing your natural hair oils from the roots toward the ends of the hair. Plus, they also tend to increase the volume in fine hair. And then please, for goodness sake, clean your brush at the end of every week, continuously transferring the product buildup from a dirty brush back into the hair will affect the integrity of the hair. Tip 14 is to sleep on a satin pillowcase because the friction between your hair and the cotton pillowcase is awful for your hair. I mean it. I also recommend sleeping with the hair in a loose braid to control the amount of that friction that we keep talking about. Apply an overnight oil once a month, but be mindful of hair color. If you are any color, but like a silver or a platinum blonde, you should try giving your scalp a massage with vitamin E oil or argan oil. Then distribute that oil throughout the length of the hair and sleep with it overnight, washing it in the morning. What makes these oils so special is the amount of antioxidants they're loaded with, which helps boost cell production and a healthier hair growth. If you're silver or platinum blonde though, these oils can cause brassiness. So I personally choose oils that are either clear or white in color, like babasu oil or emu oil, which are also fantastic, but they just don't cause that yellowing. As an added precautionary method, I do tend to wash with the purple shampoo in the morning as well. Avoid using heat styling tools as often as you can because they will strip hair of its moisture. I constantly experiment with things like overnight curls, even though I'm not very good at it. I still don't give up. Please use protection, mind in the gutter, I'm sure. Meaning, use a heat protector before using hot tools and spray a UV protector before leaving your home to protect your hair from the sun, which not only affects the structure of your hair, weakening it, but also fades out your hair color faster. Tip 19 is to use an avocado mask once a month because it's a great source of proteins, amino acids, and vitamins that soothe the scalp, repair damage, and promote long, strong, healthy hair growth. Mush it really well though, because you do not want chunks in it like I have here. I was in such a rush the day I filmed, and oh boy, did I pay for it later when I was struggling to get those chunks out. On the DIY theme, I also love rinsing with an apple cider vinegar concoction. I've been doing this for quite some time. I basically mix 2 to 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar with water. After shampooing and conditioning, I pour the mixture over the hair evenly and I'm working it into the scalp. I let it sit for about a couple of minutes, and then I rinse it out. I like doing this every 2 to 3 weeks because apple cider vinegar can help reseal the hair cuticle, make the hair shinier, decrease residue and dandruff, and basically help unclog the hair follicles, which of course encourages hair growth. Now, before we leave, I would like to know which 5 tips you are going to follow religiously this year. I wish you would incorporate everything we've talked about, but if you started with even just 5, you are well on your way to a much healthier, much thicker, longer, stronger hair in 2019. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and definitely follow me on Instagram because that is where the bulk of my beauty content is at. I love you so much for watching, and come back and visit me next week because we are going to go over the worst skincare habits that most of us do that prematurely age your skin without even realizing. So it's gonna be really good. I'll see you soon, my friend. Have a killer 2019. I love you. Bye.